Alrighty then, folks, so we are here at East Fork State Park. I'm going to hike Steve Newman Perimeter Trail. I think it's about 30-ish miles. I was here back in, was it either January or December, I don't remember when. And it was really muddy from all the horses and bulldozers, but I'm suspecting it's going to be the same because we've had some pretty bad weather for the past few days. And it's actually raining right now. And it's 5:23, so I probably have about 3 hours of daylight to get there. And I was supposed to get down in the 30s tonight, early May. There was rain in the forecast, but I'm not too worried about it. I don't really mind the rain too much. And yeah, I'm hiking counterclockwise, starting at the southern trailhead. I'm already experiencing some mud. I've only hiked probably 50 meters and I'm already going through all this mud. This is the parking lot, and I went that way, but I need to be going this way down the road here. I did the same thing last time. I swear I didn't learn my lesson, so I'm glad I turned around and I did. Here I'm about to start here. I parked here next to the camp office. This is the trailer parking, I suppose. Across the road, and the first campsite I believe is somewhere through here. Campsite 2 is down here, but I'm gonna stay at campsite 3 and 4. 3 is over here somewhere, and 4 is around up here somewhere. So I'm pretty pumped, I suppose, and I'm going, like I said, counterclockwise. And I'm really liking on the green so far. Like, I've almost always camped backpacked in like winter months or fall, so I'm not used to seeing on the green while backpacking. It's I went around this tree last time too, but it wasn't chopped up at that point. And the trail was not as defined. So it took me a second to figure out where I was supposed to go last time. One more tip is that running water, like over here, it tends to be cleaner than stagnant water from like a pond or even an area like that. You can see it's more murky, and then as the water picks up, it would leave off sediments, heavier sediments, so your water would be cleaner and theoretically less impurifications. Starting to rain here. I got rather lost last time I was here, because it comes out to this clang for this electrical line. You can hear it crackling. I just could not find the trail last time I was here, because you come out of the woods. I was hiking the red trail last time. This time I'm on the green one, the multi-use trail. And here's the issue, like, where do you go? So, upon request, I'm gonna try to do a little more tips and information about backpacking. A lot of people don't know about trekking poles is they have these foam extensions of the grip, and the reason that is there is because when you're going up a hill, your arm might be way up high, and you might not like that. So, what these are for, instead of having my hand way up here, I can adjust my grip to be on the foam part, and my arm will be hanging up way above my body, and I can really power through on the uphill. So instead of having my hands way up above my head, they can be kind of what's more comfortable, which is chest height, and keep my arms more of a 90-degree angle at my elbows. You can power through up the hill. Also, the reason why your trekking poles have these hooked grips is so when you're going downhill, you can kind of palm the handle and hook with your fingers, and then you holding it, your trekking pole at like a 45-degree angle from your body, and that's good for going downhill. Keep you from, starting gaining momentum and running down the hill, and also save your knees as you go down the hill. I made it to campsite 2. I only have about 30 minutes or so of daylight left, and so I'm thinking I might just stay to campsite 2. I'm debating because I think it's about 5 miles from campsite 2 to campsite 3, and so I'm debating if I want to just stay the night here and have like a 15-mile day tomorrow, or if I want to just go ahead and hike through the night. It'd probably take me about an hour and a half, maybe 2, hike that 5 miles. An hour and a half in the dark. I don't know about that, boys. So I might just stock up on water here at this river and go ahead and stay the night tonight, and then hike the 15 miles tomorrow, I suppose. Campsite 4. Another pro tip: put these small water bottle sports caps. You can find these on a lot of different drinks. A lot of these will have these kind of caps. Put these on everything because it makes pouring the water a lot easier, and you're less likely to lose the cap because you don't have to unscrew the cap every time you drink. You can just flip it open and then drink from it. And if you lose a cap, you don't have an extra, you're kind of boned. So I like to just, if the water source is close to my campsite, I like to just go in and stock up my whole water capacity. Why not? Kind of dark. I know it doesn't look on camera, but it's getting darker. Looks like I got the whole place to myself. Empty. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and get set up. I want to show you something before it gets too dark. Alright, so what I wanted to show you is how to hang a bear bag. What you need is 50 feet of cordage and your food bag. This food bag is also from Walmart. You can buy a whole pack of these, $10. I've had this for years. I think it's made of silk nylon, but you don't really need those Dyneema ones. I think the difference in weight and durability is minimal. But silk nylon kind of holds that water weight more if it gets rained on. So that's the difference, but I think for most people this is, I don't know, maybe I'm biased. But you're gonna need utility cord, food bag, this is a small carabiner, and a toggle, aka stick, and you need the knowledge of how to make a loop, and that's basically it. And you need a tree. In an ideal world, you'd usually want the bag to be 12 feet up and 6 feet away from the tree, but that's kind of difficult to actually do. I wanted to show you how to tie a bowline knot, because everyone knows how to make a loop intuitively with the overhand knot, right? So I wanted to show you how to tie a bowline, because I think it's a knot that everyone should know how to do. It's a life-saving knot because it's virtually impossible to come undone. The rope will break before it comes undone. So, for the bowline loop, the bowline knot, what you gotta do is make a small loop, make a loop, and so then the rest of this, so this is the line that you're gonna be going through, but the rest of the extra length of this side is going to be the actual loop that you have here. So you can adjust where this smaller loop is to decide how large of a loop you're going to have. But the way to remember is this is the bunny and this is the hole. So here comes the bunny, comes out of the hole, right, around the tree, and then back in the hole. And then go ahead and dress it up, and then you have a loop that is probably not going to come undone. So once you got a small loop about this size, what you're going to do is throw your line with either a rock bag, or I'll show you another way. You can either tie like a clove hitch to just a rock, or you can, chances are you probably already have an extra bag laying around, so you don't need to buy a dedicated rock bag. Already have an extra bag laying around, like a Ziploc bag, so you can throw your rocks in a Ziploc bag and then tie it off with a clove hitch to your line. I'll show you that in a second. You're going to need to know this knot here in a second as well. So what you do is you take your line, anywhere on the line is fine, and then you make 2 loops going in the same direction but on opposite sides, if that makes any sense. So see how this loop is overhanded and this loop is underhanded, meaning the line crosses under versus the line crosses over. And you cross the lines over themselves, and you take whatever you're tying it to, put it through it, and then you pull it taut, and then clove hitch. You can tell because it has this X shape. You can do that the same on a bag too, like a grocery bag or a trash bag or a food bag. Use the same knot on this bag here. You know, take my bag, stick it through the loop, and then pull it, right? Now you got a bag with a rock underneath the line without having to spend money on a dedicated rock bag, and the chances are you're already bringing a bag for your trash. And don't be upset about learning this knot, because this is not, you have to learn it here in a second anyways. By the way, I'm throwing the end of it with the bowline, with the loop on the same end. What's good about this, I think it's called the PCT style hang. No bear can cut the line down here. No bear can cut the line towards the bottom and then cause the bag to fall. You won't have any lines stringing out from a tree to another tree so people can get literally clotheslined. When you roll up your food bag, it makes a loop with the clip. And so what you gotta do is take your carabiner, clip it on to your loop that you made at the end of your line with either overhand loop, figure 8 loop, or clove hitch. Go ahead and clip it to your bag, your food bag, right, like that. See how it's clipped on? You also have to take your line and go through the carabiner. So now you see how the line through the carabiner is the original loop that your carabiner you originally hooked onto. The food bag and the line is through the carabiner. When you pull it up, it goes up the same as you would usually expect, right? Just go all the way up to the branch if you can, unless you're gonna get caught in some brush. My food bag is up in the air right now. And so what you gotta do next is tie a clove hitch onto a toggle. What you would do is you would tie a stick onto your line with a clove hitch. The clove hitch is good because you can tie it anywhere on a line. So you make a loop and another loop going in the opposite direction, and then you cross them so that the lines cross in the middle right here, and then you pass your stick through. And what that does is it puts a stick in the line, and so when it goes back up, when it goes up the line, it cannot pass through the carabiner, stopping the food bag, so that it hangs off, you know, in the air. Tonight I am eating ramen. You can ramen's cheap. It's dehydrated. It's light. It's pretty good fuel, I suppose. But you can cook it in these so you don't have to keep that big container that can sometimes come in. You can cook it in these freezer bags. These freezer bags can withstand the boiling water. Morning. It's what time is it? I don't even know. It's 7:20. I missed the sunrise, which is okay. I don't really mind too much. It was a low of 39, I believe. 36. Low of 36. And so I'm gonna go ahead and get eating and get out of here. Because it's supposed to start raining about 5, I think. And I got a long day ahead of me. Also, it's a good idea to kind of have an electronics bag. This is a battery pack with the camera and another camera battery. Put all your electronics in there and putting something back, because the cold weather will drain your batteries. I believe it's called a Spike Hitch. If you have a loop, you just take it through your another loop, and you pass a stick through the line. And just like on the food bag earlier, the stick can't pass through the loop, and so it hangs. I hung up my trekking poles along with it this time, because I learned the hard way last time that the critters would eat the cork off the pole. Well, I guess I'm off. Last night was pretty great. This morning is pretty leisurely. I probably enjoyed it out here. Check the forecast. Looks like it's gonna rain a lot. It don't matter. I'm just gonna keep on marching down. I was just barely getting started, and I had to stop to address a problem with my foot. So that's another tip. If you're having any foot issues with hot spots or blisters, address it as soon as you notice it, because when it develops into a real issue, a real problem, then you'll really be up a creek without a paddle, especially if you're trying to go out for a lot of miles. Just a good idea. Even if you have to stop the whole group if they're waiting on you, just stop and address it, because they'll be grateful that you're addressing the problem and you don't have to whine about it later. And two, if you address it sooner rather than later, it'll probably take less time. Whereas, putting on a dry pair of socks might take less time than having to deal with a blister later. Also, when you start out hiking, it's a little chilly outside, it's best to go ahead and not start with the jacket on and your pants on. Just be bold, start cold, as we'll say. Because your body will heat up a lot when it starts burning calories and you start moving. Another tip is the beanie is a great way to keep your body warm without having to put on a lot of clothes, because so much of your blood goes through your head, and so much blood but not a lot of flesh or fat to insulate it, so your body puts off a lot of heat through your head. So putting on some insulation on your head will keep in a lot of that heat and keep you a lot warmer without having to put on a lot of clothes. One more thing is when you're backpacking an area like East Fork where there's water everywhere, you don't need to be packing around 2 liters of water wherever you go, because, or your whole water capacity, whatever that is. I would suggest maybe 1 liter is probably good. Like 1 liter of water weighs something like over 2 pounds. And so if you're carrying 2 liters of water, you know, that's over 4 pounds. And that's just like, you don't need to do that. Because every time you come across water, you can refill, drink, and continue on. I almost didn't bring these. I mean, I would have brought something else, but I was just driving in these, and I thought, well, I ought to put these, take these 2, just in case there's a lot of water. Which there is. This is not bad at all, though. Oh, she cold. Holy crap, that is cold. I hope I don't fall. When you see a blaze like this, where the 2 blazes are diagonal from each other, that means turn. So if it's to the right, it means turn right. Over here, it means turn left. Into that sign back there. Whoa, I just passed mile 9, so I reckon not too long I'll come back up upon campsite 3, primitive site 3. Maybe I'll stop, eat lunch there. It's only 10 o'clock. Maybe I'll keep going and wait till 12ish, but I reckon I probably won't even get there till maybe 11. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking right now. I'm trying to slide down this mud here, but it's proving difficult. Oh, I almost took a tumble there. Here we go again. Another tip is layering your socks. As long as they're synthetic, you should be good. This is just like a sock I got from the dollar store, and this is like a Walmart dress sock, Walmart brand. I think it's spandex and nylon. So yeah, cotton kills, go synthetic, or smart wool or whatever it is. Wool or synthetic, I would say. Yeah, pretty good. And layering your socks helps prevent friction from the boot to the sock to your foot, so it's more of that friction is between the socks and less between your skin. Another tip, when you open a package, don't tear it off all the way. Leave a bit hanging. That's because when you do that, it makes an extra piece of trash instead of having one piece of trash. And then you have little bits of trash all over the trail, all over the campsite. People call that MicroTrash. And I started down here, and I was trying to make it to campsite 3 last night. I couldn't make it. Campsite 2 is around here. That's where I stayed last night. And I passed campsite 3 a while ago, so I'm headed to campsite 4, which is up here somewhere, I think. So I'm at A4, right here. Yeah, campsite 3 is here. So this is where the Buckeye Trail splits off. So the blue blazes go right down this way, down that road there, and the green goes this way. You've got to be kidding me. I have to cross this thing again? I've been hiking through this grass, this meadow. It's been much more enjoyable than through all the mud. A lot easier to pick up the pace. That looks much deeper. I took a break at the river over there when I crossed it to just, resituate my feet there. I probably should not have, because I'm not sure if you can see it on camera, but there is a bunch of clouds coming in, and I probably should start bricking it now. Walking past the campgrounds, and someone is grilling hamburgers, and it's driving me nuts. It smells so good. Officially started to rain. Got the frog togs on. We just have this mud behind me. Is just I've been experiencing it the whole way, and it's really been slowing me down. It's pretty exhausting trudging through mud. I'm sick of the mud, not gonna lie. I found the trail marker. Can you see it? Probably not. Right there. There's another trail that goes down this way. I went that way, and I don't know why I went that way, but I went quite a ways before realizing I was going the wrong direction. Actually, this might not be what they want you to do anymore, but I'm sick of looking around for a freaking trail I'm gonna go this way anyways. That was the wrong trail too. I think I am on the right trail now. I'm really frustrated with the maps because they were not marked clearly at all. That's really ticking me off a little bit, is how there's all these trails that are unmarked on the maps, and how there's no signage or no markings for the trail that is the right trail. And does that make sense to you? Like, where is campsite 4? Do you go down this trail or this trail? I don't know. It's just so confusing. Alright, so I've been searching for this campsite for probably a few hours now, and it is nowhere to be seen. I have no idea where it's at. So I'm just gonna set my tent somewhere. Hopefully I can find somewhere that's not completely flooded, and hopefully it'll be alright. I'm set up here, I guess somewhere past where I thought campsite 4 would be, maybe a mile down, in just the middle of the woods. I'm going to eat a Mountain House breakfast skillet, but so far I've really enjoyed being out here. Any day, a bad day outdoors is better than a good day indoors, I think. Other than that, yeah, I'm gonna eat this, try to get warm and sleep. I forgot to mention, I'm kind of worried about, if there's thunderstorms in the forecast, I'm kind of worried about that, if I don't want a tree to fall on me. That's kind of why I was so looking forward to that shelter. Was I went ahead and set my geolocation to my parents from Google Maps. Yeah, I think I'll be okay. But yeah, I'm just kind of bummed I couldn't find campsite 4 and that my boots are completely soaking wet and there was just no way around it, so I just started going through. Alrighty then, folks, so this is the spot I slept last night. Sorry I didn't get a shot of it all, but I don't know. I already packed up. It's 10:40 and I'm just now getting moving because took it nice and slow, nice and easy. Had a hot meal. Because last night was pretty rough. I wanted the rest. And I am so sick of the mud though. I tried looking up the geolocation, the coordinates. Ugh. Barely even get into it, my foot's already wet. Looking them up, I'll see if anyone posted them on any forums or anything. For the campsite 4, could not find any information on campsite 4. 1 and 2 were both posted everywhere. You can even on Google Maps they were posted, but 3 and 4 were not. I slept pretty good last night. Benadryl does a pretty good job knocking you out. Everything I have is wet, pretty much. So I'm carrying a lot of water weight without any actual drinking water. I am a little bit tired from looking around for several hours last night for that campsite, going on all the wrong trails except the right one apparently. And I am pretty sure this is the wrong one I'm on too, but I think it goes in the right direction. Nothing is marked clearly. I'm trying to figure out what is the trail and what's not the trail right now. Last night in the dark, it was hard to tell if I was walking through a stream or if I was walking on the trail, because the trail is just a stream basically. Alright, which way do I want to go here? I had just passed the mile 26 marker, so it turns out the reason why that part was not traveled much was because there's a lot of this road walking, and all that did was just come one part off this bike path and go back onto it again, like a few meters down the way. So it was just a small loop. That's all it was. That's one thing I don't like about this trail is there's a lot of this walking on a on either the roads or these bike paths that are paved. Although that's not necessarily a bad thing, but I just don't really think it's a good thing either. Definitely not a good thing. It's just, I guess, preference. What? So I'm guessing I have to cross this river here, and it's ripping right now. I don't really want to. See. Oh yeah, I can see green. God. Alright. I gotta figure out a good place to cross here. Maybe I walk out to this island here and then straight across. It didn't rain a whole lot, but last night. But this looks like it's more full than it usually is, which means the current's gonna be faster. I'm gonna try to walk over this way. See if I can get to that island over there. I might take my clothes off actually too. I've tried going through it a few different times. I am freezing cold, and I just don't think it's gonna happen because this rod is moving. It's about chest high. Maybe I could swim across and then with the line and drag my bag over. Maybe I'll try that. I'm just gonna. I tried to get across swim last time. I don't think it's safe. My phone's dead, and I'm solo, so it's not worth dying for. But I'm gonna take this opportunity to warm up a little bit and eat my lunch and figure out what I'm doing next. So I'm thinking I'm here, and I was trying to cross here. But I think what I'm gonna have to do is yeah, I'm gonna take this blue trail here and see if I can get up on this road, and I'll have to walk around, I suppose. This blue trail doesn't cross it. It does cross it down here. Maybe I won't do that. No, it's not gonna be any better, is it? Hey folks, this is Future Caleb here, Editor Caleb. I'm editing the video right now, and I just wanted to clarify some things to give you a heads up of what's going on, and for future reference here as the video plays out. I'm going to say some things that I disagree with now about if you're planning this trip out, what you should do. So right now in the video, I am basically right here, looking at this river, trying to figure out if I'm going to cross it. This is East Fork Little Miami River. This is all trails, by the way. At this point in my video, my phone had died, and I didn't really have means of researching, and besides, I already wasted probably a few hours trying to figure out how to cross the river. I wanted to get going, so what I ended up doing was, and what I suggested people do, was walk backwards, back where you came from, and hit the Slade Road here, and then cut over right here. That was a big mistake, because what I ended up doing anyways was coming across here and seeing that, like, the dam, I could walk down the side of it, and then hit this road, because there's a park area here, and with the road access here. I didn't realize I could walk down the side of the dam and then hit the trail here. And then the map that they had here on all trails, it doesn't show that you can walk this side of the river around to the dam. And the map here, and then on this map, the biggest reason why I did this was because on this map it looked like that I would have to cross the river anyways, and that was not something I was wanting to do, because if I had to cross the river here and over here was the same problem, I just wasn't going to deal with it. And I had no reason to believe that there'd be a bridge or a dam to cross here, because all the rivers I had crossed up to that point in the past 2 days, there were no bridges, so I had no reason to believe that I could cross the river here. But like I said, this trail isn't on all trails, but you can walk that trail down this way and walk around along the dam, and then hit this road here and get back on trail. See, without crossing the river, which is probably safer. And you don't have to do what I did, which was hit this road here all the way, because there's a trail apparently that goes this way, which I didn't realize that. So yeah, that's just a heads up. Don't do what I did. and don't try to cross the river if the water's high, because there's been a lot of people complaining about the trail going straight through this river. And yeah, so just heads up on all trails, and on I think Gia too. It doesn't mark that trail, but I believe there is a trail here that goes around the river to the dam, and you can walk around it. All right, so there's a blue blaze for the Buckeye Trail, and this is Slade Road up ahead. I'm just gonna follow that for a while. Now I'm just trying to decide if I want to walk down this dam. I think this road down here that leads to this access to these kids are at, I think it connects to the trail. I'm trying to debate if I want to go down this hill to see if it would, or if I just should continue on the road. I think I'm gonna go check it out down here. I mean, I got all day. I guess there's no rush. I think this is gonna work out well. So obviously I came up from up there. Here, there's a map here. So the shots I had earlier of the lake were from this dam coming out, showing you this water, this lake, and then I'm on this dam here is where I came down, and now it says I'm at Tailwater Recreation Area, and so it looks like if I just keep going, it looks like it connects to the trail right there, because I'd like to hike as much of the trail as I can. This worked out perfectly. But yeah, I'm glad I'm on the other side of the river, despite how long it took me to do it. So yeah, I'm gonna go back the way I just came and hang a right, and I should be good to go. Well, what I'm gonna say is I hope to God this is the right trail, because I haven't seen a green blaze in a hot second. But I know the perimeter trail does cross the road up here, so I'm 70% sure this is the right trail. But at this section, it seems like, one, the trails aren't marked very well, and two, when they cut the trails, they weren't really cautious or aware of what they were doing. They just kind of like, yep, cut a trail through here, straight up the hill. Like, it seems like they didn't really care about erosion or anything like that, because every single uphill is just a mudslide. And a lot of the trails are just straightforward, you know what I mean? Hardly any switchbacks, and it's just like mudslide every time you have to go up a big hill. Toy plane, very cool. I don't know if I got that on video last time, but I came out of here, up that hill, came down this hill. It spat me out here, but I think it's a Slade Road. And I was like 45% certain that I was supposed to cross it. But it looks like the trail goes this way. Let me see if that's a trail marker. And maybe I'll ask these folks over here what road this is. And that looks like a rock cairn. So I suppose it means I'm on the right trail. I hope so. I sure hope so. I don't know where I am if I'm not. I just don't know where this is taking me. I just asked somebody in this fine neighborhood for some directions, because I don't know where I am. But I think I know where to go now. I just don't know what to tell you, man. Easy to get lost. A lot of trails that are unmarked, not on the maps, and a lot of the times the actual perimeter trail isn't marked very well. So it's hard to differentiate between the correct trail and a trail that's unofficial or unmarked. I just walked up this freaking hill for no reason, apparently. So he said, if I follow this road, I should hit Slade eventually, which is what I'm probably gonna have to do, because I cannot find the trail. Can you see that? Am I getting in the frame? How is he doing that? Even when I'm in the grass, it's muddy. So I believe This road up here is Slade. Oh, look at that. First trail marker in probably a couple miles. I think that's green paint. Is that what that is? Is that green paint? Oh my gosh, this is exciting. I tried finding a GPX file for this trail online. All I could find was in All Trails, which doesn't really help. And All Trails doesn't really have a lot of information on it. It's usually pretty good just for like making sure you're going the right direction. But what the trails are, I think it's just people recording themselves doing their section, right? So they might not have done the official trail the correct way, and then that's what shows up on All Trails. And plus, they don't have any waypoints already in them for like, let's say the campsites or water. And I could do that myself, but I just didn't know where anything was at. 3 miles to go. I also wanted to mention that one way you can save weight on your pack is not bringing an extra meal that a lot of people recommend you do. The reason why is, one, you don't need it. Most of the time, if you can do up to say an extra day, you can hike out of there without that one meal, or the extra day's worth of meals, as some people recommend. And you can go hungry and still have a good time. You don't have to let, negative things affect you so much. The average person can spend 3 weeks without a meal. And most of us have body fat to spare anyways, including myself. My main point is, being hungry isn't the end of the world. You can still have fun and do some sucky experiences like being hungry or trudging through mud or having a bunch of hills or getting lost a bunch. You can still enjoy yourself. My feet are starting to hurt. They started hurting about mile marker 30. So I'm already 3 more miles past that. I would like to put another pair of dry socks on, but that they don't exist. My boots have been soaked since the moment when I stepped on this trail. I was trying to keep them as dry as possible for a while, but there's only so much you can do. I would put some moleskin on, but every mile I think I'm almost there, so I don't really know what's going on. I don't think it would stick anyways because my feet are so soaked. Oh, another tip. Duct tape is a great replacement for that Leuco tape or whatever everyone else puts on. Duct tape is pretty good too to just cover your skin from friction and blisters. Who the heck decided a green for your trail marker was a good idea? Because if I'm looking at a tree and I think I see green on it, how the heck do I know if I'm looking at a leaf that's on a tree or if I'm looking at a blaze? The truth is, you don't know until you get close enough to see it, which just sucks. It's so stupid. Yay! I can see the end. Oh my gosh. East Fork. I can't give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down, so I'm gonna say I want to give it a 3 out of 5, but that seems too generous. I give it a 3. It's a very generous 3. I don't think it deserves a 2 though. Out of 5, 2 stars. Let's do 2.5 stars. It had some highs that were great, some beautiful sights, beautiful forestry, but it had some, but they are few and far between, and everywhere in between was pretty much a low. A lot of mud. If you're coming out here, it's not any time of the year either. It's year round. If you look at people's vlogs and reviews and stuff, and decades ago too, the mud is here year round. It's a lot of mud. I would say out of the 30 miles that I did, let's say 20. Let's just say 20 miles of it was just pure mud. And the rest was either concrete or just patches of smooth dirt. Yeah, There's a lot of cement, a lot of concrete, a lot of road rocking. You have to be, I mean, that's not necessarily, that's an opinion thing, but I personally don't like that when I'm out backpacking. If I'm trying to go out in the woods, I want to feel like I'm out in the woods. It wasn't too terribly busy. I wasn't busy at all, actually. But I went on a Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. It's not terribly busy. There was a lot of people out and about, but once you go into the trails, there's not very many people. Campsites 1 and 2, you can't miss them. Primitive campsites 1 and 2, you can't miss them. But for whatever reason, I could not figure out where 4 was. 3, 4, or 5, I didn't see any of them. So I guess there was a sign saying campsite 5 with an arrow on it, and I thought that meant just continue on the trail, but I guess you should have turned right on the road. 3, I did see a trail, but I didn't think that was the trail for the campsite. They should really put some signage out. There's signs for 1 and 2, but there's no signage for any of the other campsites, which I was kind of expecting when I was looking for it, because I've seen the other one, so you'd think that the other ones would have it too. 4, I just could not find. I have no idea where it was. Maybe I just didn't go on the right trail, or to go down far enough before jumping around. But I spent a good chunk of time looking for it. It was also getting dark. The trail, if it was well marked, very well marked in some locations, and very much so not well marked in others. In some spots, I felt like I just kind of had to trust my gut, or just kind of hope I was on the right trail and not an animal path. And that was very frustrating. How some places are so overused, it seemed like, and some places are like remote and weird, like and not very well blazed. There's also a lot of trails that fishermen use to get to the different ponds and streams and rivers. That's confusing. And of course the animal trails. And so there's so many unofficial trails that are not marked in any maps, and that was very confusing. Also, the trails come like right up to property lines sometimes, like walking along fences of other people's houses and stuff, and that's very strange. I did not really feel comfortable with that at all, really. It's not bad or it's not good. It's just kind of weird. It's like you're off in the wilderness, and then next thing you know, you're walking along someone's fence to their house. It's very strange. So yeah, I mean, I had loads of fun out here, but if you're looking to hike a 30-mile loop, just go to Zaleski, and you make a 4 out of 5 experience. You know, you might have to deal with more people, but there's a reason why there's more people there and less people here. But here there are shelters, which are cool, but they're useless if you can't find them. The mud, I just want to stress, the mud is atrocious. There's some parts that were going almost up to my shin, and I was just walking through water and mud. Awesome experience. Tons of great rivers to see. I mean, a lot of these runoff streams are beautiful, and from the lake here. I'm glad I went up to that dam for Little Miami River, because that was some good views. I thought I really appreciated just getting a different scenery, even though that's more road walking. But it was just good to get a break from all the trudging around through mud. Yeah, the Little Miami River crossing was very sketch. I probably wouldn't even do that if I had more than one person there, because I might feel more safe, but the reality is you're still the same person going through the river. So I probably wouldn't do that. Maybe if there's a dry stretch of weather, maybe try looking at it, but from what I can tell, people don't usually cross that unless they're on a horse. I mean, even though I'm hitting on East Fork a lot, I mean, you can still go out here and have a good time. I had a good time, but I just have had better experiences other places. If you like the video, leave a like on the video. If you dislike the video, dislike the video. Tell me why so I can do better next time. Also, sayonara.